GG, I am DJ Jones of all, Neil, Chris Ryder. We all dinner at the Round Table Podcast, your source to knowledge. Tonight is a special segment, you know what I mean, by yours truly, DJ Jones of all. Tonight I'm going to talk about the subconscious mind. So to get started, the subconscious mind, right? We use it about 95% of the time. While the other 5% we're thinking consciously. And that's something that, many of us are not really aware of. That 95% of our mind, we use it subconsciously, and the other 5% we use it consciously. One thing we need to understand is that, the conscious and the subconscious are two different minds that are separated and learn in different ways. The subconscious mind is more like the watchman of the gate. It's like the protector of the subconscious. It protects the subconscious from like false perception. The conscious mind is it's the learning mind. It's the thinking mind. It's the mind that you use to rationalize. The mind that you use to think of strategies. The mind that you use to make judgments. But your subconscious mind is what's really in control, because it's the habit mind. It's the reactive mind. It's part of you that motivates you to do the things that you have to do. For example, you could pick up a book, and read it, take in information, but if you don't apply that information, you don't practice it, your subconscious mind is not going to process it. And, when you don't reinforce that, you don't really absorb information. Because, first of all, human beings are pattern repeaters, meaning that's how we learn. We learn through repetition. Think about how we learn our ABCs, singing it all the time. Once you start to sing it, over and over again, it just came automatic to you because now you know it subconsciously. The same thing when you know how to ride a bike. You don't consciously tell your right, leg to pedal the first, and then after that your left, leg will pedal afterwards. You subconsciously do it now because it's something that's already embedded in you, because of repetition. Same thing like, driving a car. So when you're doing things subconsciously, you're doing it without even thinking about it. Also when, you make a commitment, right? You say, I'm going to go jogging every day. That's a conscious decision that you're making. Now, you may have the willpower to do it for the first couple of weeks or so, but let's just say, you say to yourself one day, I'm going to take a day off. I'm not going to jog, and then you start giving yourself excuses to your conscious mind, and what happens is that your subconscious mind is going to feed off that. When you're trying to go back into jogging, you're not going to feel right because your subconscious mind is going to tell you this is not normal. And this is why it's very important to really discipline yourself when you make a conscious decision, every day. So, when you make a commitment and you stick with it, your subconscious mind becomes aligned with your conscious mind. The same thing applies with our behavior, how we conduct ourselves in a given environment. Our conscious mind has to generate a behavior that supports you, and then you have to keep repeating it. Disciplining yourself, sometimes, you have to find the joy in pain, and, it may be a struggle at first, but when you begin to find joy, your subconscious mind downloads that, and then you begin to really enjoy the process of that, and it's the whole point of really, disciplining yourself. The subconscious mind is the recorder, it's the program. This is why the first 7 years of your life is the most crucial years of your life. As Dr. Bruce Lipton mentioned in his book, kids that are 7 years and younger have a lower vibration frequency, which is called theta. It's the reality and imagination mixed together. Hence, children have a high imagination, at that age. And theta is below consciousness, which is called alpha. So kids at that age cannot make conscious decisions, yet And this is why we have to be very mindful of how we speak to our children at that age bracket. Because if you catch your child, for instance, writing on the wall, they broke a glass or they broke something in the house, and you get angry and you begin to shame on them, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you stupid? You don't deserve this. That definitely becomes programmed into their subconscious mind, which in return could be very in their adulthood. And we see it time after time, of people having low self-esteem, and a lot has to do with their subconscious mind. Their first 7 years, because whatever information that were given to us as kids is imprinted into our subconscious mind. Your life is a reflection of your subconscious mind. It records your environment, and it's very important that we have a deep understanding of that, because again, 95% of our lives come from the subconscious mind, So the essential question is this, okay? How do we reprogram or rewrite our subconscious mind? And it's very simple. You practice, you repeat yourself, to accomplish something that you want to accomplish, obviously, right? By doing the same thing over and over again. It programs your subconscious mind to make it into a reality. You have to make it into a habit. Remember, the subconscious mind is the habit mind. Repetition eliminates resistance. When you make things a part of the norms, there's no longer a resistance. When you think about fear, fear really is the result of negative thoughts. And I was reading the data. I believe 70% of the people, thoughts are negative, and it keeps playing that negative thought, time after time, over and over again. And this is why depression and stress is at an all-time high. Thoughts are very powerful. Thoughts, whether it's positive or negative, it shapes our biology. So it's very crucial in how we think. Because one of the greatest powers that humans possess is that we have the ability to choose one thought over another. We can think greater than our environment. Our experience creates our personalities. So to change our experiences, we have to rewrite our subconscious mind by changing our thoughts and breaking away from our indoctrination. So that's very important to understand that, because again, though, it begins with your train of thought. It all begins with your train of thought. So when you want to accomplish something, you have to put that into your subconscious mind through repetition. Not by saying, I hope to be successful one day, whatever the case is. No, I am successful. I am wealthy. Or even take it to a deeper level when the doctor says, you're not able to walk again. No, I am going to walk again. That is the power of the subconscious mind. It gets the program that I am going to walk again. And the subconscious mind is the mind responsible for healing the body. You see, the function of the mind is to create coherence with the program and reality. You change the environment inside of you. Neuroscience has confirmed this. When you repeat the same thought over and over, your brain sends those signals to your nerve cells. So whenever you want to make your brain work the way you want to work, that is called the mind. And the mind is basically, the brain's action. So, it's very important to understand that, because the law of your mind is the law of belief. When you say I'm going to make it, this means to believe in what belief is. The belief of your mind is the thought of your mind. So, that's it. And that's self-power right there, when you're able to really do that. Because, your biology might say, you're not going to be able to walk again, but the program in your subconscious is going to adjust your biology for you to walk again. You must give your subconscious mind, the right thoughts and images, which controls and governs all of your experience. You know, this is how you manifest your wishes and desires. You know, the subconscious is a record player pretty much. You know, it's when, you know, when you go on default to your subconscious, you know, it's playing your wishes and desires over and over again. You know, your subconscious mind takes over when you're not thinking. You know, so it's very important to understand this and how to really, you know what I'm saying, how really getting more in touch with your subconscious mind, you know, learning that, you know, we have to really have a habit of doing things that we want to accomplish, you know, because one thing I do every day is that I write a goal 3 times a day. You know, I do this in the morning and I do this in the night before I go to sleep. And it's basically, you know, planning ahead and visualizing that reality happening now, you know, because it all begins with a vision. You know, and that's another power that we possess. That's, you know, we have the ability to see the future in the present moment. You know, whatever you could imagine is real. You know, whatever your conscious mind assumes and believes is true, your subconscious will follow. You know, and then, you know, it will definitely, you know, think of creative ways to solve any problem that comes your way, you know, and overcome any obstacle, you know, and it's going to achieve all your desired goals. It's just your subconscious mind. So it's very important, you know, and I definitely want to get more depth in a future episode about the subconscious mind, you know, but I just want to briefly talk about it. So, I mean, I'm going to end it with a final thought, you know, the subconscious mind, you know. You have to make your subconscious mind work for you and not against you. You know, the conscious mind is the seat of you. You know, it's your identity. You know, the seat of your consciousness. You know, the seat of your soul. So, you know, it is your right to rewrite the subconscious mind. You know, it's your right to change your thoughts, to change your feelings, to change your emotions, to change your perception. You know, you have that power. You know, discover your inner nature, your inner being. You know, that self-power that's always going to be inside of you. And no one can take that away from you. You know, shifting your identity to the innermost being. You know, when the conscious mind reflects the subconscious mind, I will guarantee you that you will live in a life of blissfulness. I will guarantee it. You know. So that being said, I am DJ John Tavor. You know, Dinner at the Round Table Podcast. Always keep an open mind to new information. And I'm going to sign off. Peace, harmony, and love. I'm out. GG, I am DJ Jones of all, Millionaire Chris Ryder. We all Dinner at the Round Table Podcast, your source to knowledge. Make sure you click like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dinner at the Round Table Podcast, baby. Yeah.